of an anniversary because everyone told me that no one would go to a 35th anniversary. It sounds like your folks. So we're doing 35th birthday. I'm sure some of you aren't 35 yet, which, well, I guess then everyone wishes they were 35 again. So we're very happy to have you here. To give you a little idea, back in 1974, there wasn't a lot of audio going on. If you wanted a multi-channel cable, you were taping individual mic cables together. There was no such thing as multi-cable, there was no such thing as networking. There just wasn't a lot. One of the things we did, one of our first was that we came out with a line of colored microphone cables. And it doesn't sound like much today, but it was astounding back in the day. As a matter of fact, it was on the front cover of DB magazine. Anyone might remember that. And that sort of got us in trouble because that was the same year the Bee Gees were doing the White Tour. So they got all the white, and then the Pope came. And of course, so it was like this, are we doing this or are we doing this? So kind of conflicts there. We also originated the idea of the first multi-channel cabling system. So all those stage boxes you see that are black, that everyone comes in here and says, gee, you look just like so-and-so, they really have copied our original designs. The other thing we did as a first, we originated the idea of multi-pin disconnect audio cables. It sounds like something very easy today, but in the old days, people were winding up these tremendous lengths of cable, and it was very difficult to deal with. Primarily, the products that we do, what we do is we really try to connect all these other companies on the floor together. A lot of people make really, really terrific products, and then everyone wants them, and then they decide they want them to be 200 feet apart. And that's what our job is, to really bring all these different types of components together and make them work over a cabling system that is reliable. A couple other things is that we originated the cabling system that is still currently used on Broadway. As we grew, we encountered a lot of very high-profile jobs. You can take a look at the signs on the side if you want some reference, but we were in the White House, we did Olympics, Disney, the original Epcot Center, Radio City Music Hall, over 500 Broadway shows, and the list goes on and on. There's about a couple hundred listed on the actual boards. Today, we're moving into a whole new era. As you can see that there's a lot of integration going on. We talk to contractors, and I say, how do you keep up with all these different pieces of equipment? How do you even read the manuals? And their response usually is, we don't. So they rely on us to get the interconnect right for them. And we do that a lot of consultative selling, that the customer comes to us, says, I have this problem, and we provide a solution for them. And that's really a big part of our business. As far as moving forward, what we're looking at is new ways to accommodate the very complex cabling systems that are now being used. Certainly, you can see a lot of the gear on the floor, but there's a lot more, especially when you're dealing with very large shows, very complex communication systems, and we seem to be able to work that out for customers very well. A couple other things is that for some reason people don't think of cable kind of on the top of their list. Everyone wants to buy the mixer and the gear and the microphones and the speakers, and then they forget about the cable. So we get calls on a Thursday afternoon from the people who are broadcasting the World Series saying, we need all this gear because we can't connect the truck to the stadium. Which makes me kind of think, do you mean to tell me that if we didn't make this cable, no one would hear the World Series? It's really kind of an outrageous thing. The other thing is that people don't seem to plan very well. when they started the space shuttle landings and takeoffs, they would wait for the space shuttle to be up in the air, and it would kind of be on the glide path, and we'd get calls from news organizations saying, we need all this cable, and that has to go to Cape Canaveral right away for the space shuttle landing. And you kind of think, weren't they expecting it to come back? Like, were we just going to kind of wait for the last minute? So we pride ourselves in being very responsive to our customers, and I think what sets us apart from some other companies is that because we grew out of the live performance and broadcast industry, where there's really one shot to do it right, not from the MI industry where it's kind of a Saturday night musician. All the products are geared that they are extremely rugged, easy to use, and absolutely get the job done.